What's up, guys? It's me and KO here, making a top 10 tip video for Blackout. This is a list compiled by me and my friends. We've kind of sat there together and made a list and broke things down and got our ideas out there, and this is what we've came up with. So, hope you enjoy what you see, and let's roll it in. Number one, find a group you have fun playing with. Finding a group of people that you enjoy playing with enhances every aspect of gaming, and not just in Blackout. When you have a group that allows you to have fun instead of being strung up, it will not only help you play better, but you'll just have a good time while doing it. I mean, who doesn't want to have a good time playing a game? You don't get on a game just to get angry or pissed off or that. Well, sometimes some people vent frustration, but you really just want to have some fun and enjoy what you're doing. That's the whole aspect of the game. That's what the point of multiplayer is to sit down with the friends and guys or girls alike and just hang out and kill some noobs, right? So that's why it's the number one pick. Number two, picking a spot to drop. Picking where you're going to drop can be one of the most stressful parts of any battle royale game type, whether it be Fortnite, PUBG, Ring of Elysium, or even Call of Duty. Let me tell you to change that. First, pick a spot on the map that fits your squad's sizes and needs. So if you're in duos, you pick somewhere that you know will have enough loot for two people and won't be stressful, so you don't have to worry about only having one gun each or anything like that. You want to have a spot where everyone can get what they need and be able to at least have some form of a way to fight against any enemies that may be there or you may meet after leaving that area. Also, dropping at the same place. Now, I don't mean like cross-jumping across the map, doing a long jump over and over again in the same place. I mean, try to keep the places the same, because over time you will learn them. Usually it takes around 5 games for me and my group to learn a spot. And other people will range, obviously. If you're one of the people who sits and explores an area before leaving it, it may take you 1 or 2 games. I don't know. It's up to you. But learning an area will be one of the best things. But a side effect of this, which is a really negative point now that I'm thinking about it, is that you will get bored of it sooner or later. Which, I mean, it's a given. Everybody gets bored of the same thing over and over again. That's why some people just like to change up and drop different spots every time. So, kind of keep it diverse a little bit, but don't do it so much to the fact that it starts affecting your gameplay with your group. Now, by this point, people have already figured out there's probably somewhat of an order here, so obviously number 3 will be dropping. Black Ops 4 has been out for a long time, yet some people really have a hard time dropping and landing at their squad's ping, which, I mean, it's really because of the topography and geography of the map, so I don't blame it, but let me tell you what I do. That helps me a lot. When I'm flying into any area, I drop down, and then on the right side of my screen where the meter is for the speed, when I see number 55, I start pulling up, and then I don't know what the controls are for other consoles or PC, obviously, but holding LT and looking straight up on Xbox will make it so you have free look, but won't adjust your flight path while you're doing so. So I look up with my normal view, and then I use the free look to look around and see what other people are doing and make sure my squad mates are following it. The other thing that I want to make a huge thing about is that since the map isn't flat and it has a lot of mountainous ranges and hills and all that, be careful of going over hills and mountains when you're dropping, especially when you're getting close to your dropping area, because it will screw up your game's depth meter on the right side where it pulls the parachute, because it has a certain range where it's to pull the parachute, or else I'm assuming the character will die if they keep on going, is what it probably is, but that's just my tip here. Obviously, it'll take practice. It's not something you get the first time, every single time, but just give it your best shot, because I mean, it can be the difference between winning a game or losing a game, right? Tip number 4, guns. Learn them. One of the highlights about Call of Duty games is that they always have a diverse range of weapons for players to use, and Blackout is no exception. The difference between some of the guns, however, can be like night and day. So my tip to you is to try to experiment with any gun you can in Blackout and see what your strong suits are and learn to emphasize on them even more. For instance, sniper rifles are completely different than they are in multiplayer versus Blackout. You have to attain for bullet drop and all sorts of things. So figuring out what sniper rifle you're comfortable with and learning to use that one specifically, and then moving on, is a huge thing. If you watch a lot of streamers, like I know Shroud made a similar point that learning a sniper rifle, which sniper rifle you want, for instance, the Outlaw is my favorite personally. Sitting there learning it and then emphasizing on that skill will help a lot when you're learning other sniper rifles and moving on to other guns, because it just helps a lot. So learn what you like. I mean, I personally prefer the rocket launcher over a sniper rifle just because it's good until about the last 30 people, and then I switch over to a sniper from looting bodies, but learn what you like. No one can tell you what you can and can't use, right? So go with it. Have fun with it. Number 5, perks. Perks in Blackout are one of the game-breaking mechanics that really sets Call of Duty aside from most other games. As far as I know, I don't know any other games that are Battle Royale and have perk systems, but perks really can set aside whether you can sneak up on an enemy or be heard from a mile away type thing. Like, for instance, Dead Silence is one of the most useful perks in the game, but knowing if you have someone who's using the hearing perk, which I can't think of it at the moment, they can still hear you like normal footsteps. So knowing what you can and can't go against is a huge deal. But also, like, I didn't know until around level 60 what the perk Outlander did, believe it or not, because I didn't really ever pick it up. That perk right there is one of the can be the difference between winning a game or not if it's a healing off, especially if you're being zoned. So take a moment and learn perks and figure out which perks you like to use the best and run the best. Obviously, a lot of people use the same ones, but just go for it and figure it out. It can't hurt you at all. Number 6, playing circle. Like all Battle Royale games, Call of Duty is a death circle, which closes in and makes the playing area smaller, forcing players in engagements and getting rid of all those camping players. Thank God. Learning how to move with circle is extremely advantageous because it allows you to make use of the death wall and make it your friend versus your annoying enemy. So try to predict it and use the circle to your advantage if you can. This is one of the most important aspects of really any Battle Royale game because if you're on the close end of the circle, obviously you can move in on either side and learn how to pick it out and then slowly hunt players down is what me and my friends call it, is hunting. Looking around for players and hunt them down and figure out where they are and then move in on them in a way that they wouldn't expect it. Now, I'm not telling you to run into the storm because obviously nobody wants to take like 25 ticks or 50 ticks damage towards the end there, which is when it's most advantageous to do this, but figuring out how you're going to use the zone to your advantage can be the difference between winning and losing the game, obviously. So learn how to predict the circle if you can, and just run with it. Tip number 7, one for all for one. I can't tell you how often in duos or quads I see teams losing due to players not working together as a team. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to spoon feed your teammates or anything like that, but I'm saying to learn how to move and act as a group rather than a bunch of solos. Teamwork is essential in Blackout, and if you want to win, you gotta realize that it's you and your friends versus the world, really. And I can't tell you how often I see, like, for instance, the squad thing, like 3/4 of the squad, 3 people out of the 4, sitting there firing. And they're fighting the whole squad. It's 4 versus 3, and then the fourth teammate that was with them is completely in a La La Land, or he's going for the flank, and he never told anybody, and then he gets killed, and then it's a 4v3 for real now, and then your team loses because of that. I mean, don't get me wrong, playmaking is a whole thing. You can make plays, but you got to learn how to distinct between the fact that you're by yourself or with a team. You got to learn that people are not on the same wavelength as you. So definitely make an attempt to learn how to use that to your advantage. That's my best tip to you about this. Number 8, vehicles. Vehicles in Blackout are definitely one of the things that set Blackout aside from most Battle Royale game types, because I mean, obviously every game has them, but not a lot of them have them with turrets or things like that, like the new A-Rev that was recently added in the Absolute Zero update. Here's the thing though, vehicles can be just as bad for your team as they are good. I mean, obviously loading your entire squad up into one truck is just a horrible idea to begin with, but sometimes it's needed. I mean, if you're really far away from zone, you gotta drive, that's all you can see, you gotta do what you gotta do. But here are just some tips about vehicle use in general, not the more advanced form of that. With vehicles, almost always expect to have a rocket launcher locked onto you or anything like that, and don't be like, alright, I'm gonna take the rocket because a helicopter can get 2 rockets. Don't do that. Almost always bail if you can, and just try to use that bail to your advantage. If you're going to jump out, you're going to bail. Try to bail on an enemy's position with your teammate and just gun them down, and then that's a free kill out of something that bad happened, right? Obviously, I'm not saying you got to be a pro about how to use vehicles, but it can be the difference between winning and losing a team. I've seen so many times where people have driven straight through trip mines in most obvious locations. Expect bridges and roads in specific places to have trip mines. And always expect it. Like if you're driving there and you're not in a rush, slow down a little bit, look around, try to look through it. You can always see the blue line or the red line actually. Just look for them, and if they aren't there, then set up your own. Damn, that's a free kill. But all I'm saying is just be careful about how you use vehicles because they can be the crutch that kills a team or helps a team. It really depends on how the game feels about it or how the other players view you as a threat or not. Number 9, callouts. Now, I'm not going to tell you to learn every call in the game because that's just ridiculous. I mean, there are probably thousands of callouts for what this game is. But I'm going to tell you that you should learn to try to use your in-game compass and your call locations if possible, and use your map ping to ping people. This will allow your team to figure out a more clear and concise idea of where you're looking and what you're looking at, and really can be the difference between getting sniped in the head or seeing your teammate pop a good smoke or something. It can be the winning of the game. I mean, I've had games where me and my friend are sitting there running around and we get shot, and you have to use a danger indicator. Danger indicators are one of the best things about the game, by the way. Danger indicators will almost always ping it roughly the area, and then you just look in that area, heal up, try to get an idea where they are, and then make a good ping about that. Obviously, I'm not telling you to stop in the middle of a gunfight to ping where they are, but try to use your endgame compass, which is on the top middle of the center of your screen. Use that to look around and figure out where they are from there. Now, another thing that's really useful, back to the perks, which was one of the earlier tips, is the perk called Paranoia. Paranoia is one of the best perks in the game because if anybody looks at you using aim down sights, they will make a noise on your screen. They'll make like a whispering noise, and the whisper will tell you the general direction of where they are. It obviously won't tell you the exact location because that would be ridiculously overpowered, but it can help a lot. It could be the difference between getting sniped or not. So try to learn your callouts because it could be the difference between winning or losing a squads or duos game. So yeah, that's my tip to you. Tip number 10: stay frosty. From all my time surfing LFG for this game, I always seem to find angry players. Now, if you get fired up and excited, that's awesome, but getting angry will usually screw you and your team over, and a lot of the time, you guys will lose gunfights. And I'm not saying this is a for sure fire thing. I mean, if you get angry and do better, that's all on you, man or woman. But just learn that it usually ends up affecting your team negatively. For one, shouting makes a game a lot harder to listen into, which this game's a really big game for sound, so audio settings is a big deal. And it kind of makes your teammates stressed out and high-strung and makes their reactions slower. It makes it a lot harder to play as a good team, And obviously, if you're angry, you lose, you get angrier, and it keeps on getting worse and worse until everybody rage quits or gets off the game, and that just ruins a good session. My honest tip to you is that being able to differentiate between being in a stressful situation and not stressful situations, like say you guys get in a gunfight, that's a stressful situation. Focus purely on callouts and helpful information during that period. So when the fight ends, you win or lose. Well, hopefully you won. You can just kind of have fun with it. You make jokes like, "Oh, those guys are fun," but I don't know what the heck that one guy was doing. He's been kind of playing weird. Just have fun with it. I'm not saying to send hate messages to the enemy team or anything like that, but kind of just relieve that pressure, because the more high-strung you are, the slower your reactions will be and the worse things will get. So my honest tip here is that staying cool and just enjoying the game, and then getting into the fight for stress, and then getting out of the fight, just keep on differentiating between that stressful moment and that non-stressful moment. That will help your team a lot. And it could be the difference between winning all your gunfights or winning none of your gunfights. It works for me and all my friends, and we've been playing many games. I'm almost level 80 now, or 81. So that is my tip to you. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. Anyways, guys, that is my tip video. I hope you enjoyed what you saw here. This is the new Call of Duty channel. I'll be posting new videos of me just doing dumb stuff and having fun gameplay and wins and loses and all the fun stuff. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like and a comment. I appreciate hearing any feedback, any tips, anything like that. And hopefully, if you liked it a lot, you can hopefully drop a subscribe button. That would help me a lot. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.